Hey guys, I'm Ezra, newly part of Team Dishcraft, and I thought it'd be fun to kind of take you along with me in my process of building my bag. So welcome to my first episode with drywalls. So basically when I'm building my bag out, I am looking for discs to fill every gap or every slot in my bag. So I want something really overstable, something slightly overstable, something stable, something understable. Just, I want discs to fill the entire bag. So I've got some Forces, some Zeuses, some nukes, obviously, some other random stuff, and I'm gonna try these out and kind of show you guys how they fly, and then talk about what I like about them and what I think will go in my bag. So with that being said, let me just show you how they fly. So I started off with a couple of Forces. In my mind, they flew kind of the same. The main difference is the dome. So the ESP one's really flat and the Z one is really domey. So there might be some more distance and glide potential with the Z one, but stability wise, they flew about the same. Being that the ESP one is more flat, I think it's a little bit more comfortable for sidearm for me, whereas I think the domey Z one is a little bit more comfortable for backhand. So I'm undecided as to which one will go in the bag, but I think I definitely will have a Force in my bag. Not sure which one yet. Both are solid. So next up, I threw a Zeus, and in my mind, a Zeus is very similar to a Force, just a touch less stable, touch less overstable, that is. So I don't know if I'll have a spot in my bag for Zeus. I think I'll have nukes kind of fill that flight shape. But since it does go a little bit less distance, it's a little bit more controllable. I could see myself bagging one of these in the future, but for right now, I think I'll probably just have nukes and then Onyxes kind of be that, kind of fill that gap. So Zeus is great, but for right now, probably not going to bag a Zeus. And then I also had a Flick up next, and I gotta be honest, guys, this thing is so shallow, it feels so bad in my hand for backhand. So I definitely will not be throwing this thing backhand. It feels okay for sidearm. Still pretty uncomfortable though, and yeah, I don't know. I don't love the flick, so probably will not be going in my bag, but it is a disc. So people do like it, so it's you know, it's just a personal preference thing, but not for me. So next I threw some nukes. I threw some Z nukes, ESP, 2L series. Basically, the Z nuke has been my go-to for a long time. That's kind of been my like just stable nuke that just goes forward for a long time and then fades. And this Z nuke is no different, as you saw on the flight. This is exactly what I expect out of a nuke, so really, really love Z nukes. But then we got the 2L series nuke, and it's got my name on it, guys. It's got the mushroom cloud, and these fly almost the exact same, so it's easy to put in my bag. These will be my staple go-to nukes that I throw on almost all my distance shots, just because it's so dependable and accurate. So 2L series nuke, definitely making the bag. This is my most go-to disc probably. And then we've got some flip-wheel stuff. This is an ESP nuke. This is going to be that bomber nuke as you saw in the video. I think it went like 550, pretty easily, kind of uphill. Yeah, with no wind, this thing bombs, and then with a little bit of tailwind, this thing bombs. As you saw, this one was a little bit less stable, so not as controllable, but obviously still really good. I just love nukes. I love the feel of nukes, and they go so far. So yeah, probably going to bag both of these, and yeah, liking them a lot. Then I threw a nuke SS, and my gosh, this thing was so flippy. Honestly, if I need a high-speed roll-out disc, I could see myself putting a nuke SS in the bag, but I think I prefer throwing fairway drivers for that roll-out slot, so I probably will not have a spot in my bag for a nuke SS, since it's just kind of too unstable for me. But not a bad disc, just not for my bag. Next up was a crank, and this thing had a similar flight to that unstable nuke that I'll throw, so I don't really think this has a spot in my bag. It is a pretty comfortable feeling disc, but I prefer the nuke, and for that reason, I'm out. So no crank for me. We also threw a thrasher, and this thing was just very unstable. Not quite as unstable as the nuke SS, surprisingly, but very, very unstable. Kind of unusable. I could use this as a roller disc again, being a 12-speed. It maybe would be more likely to go in my bag than the nuke SS, but I'll just throw a fairway driver for a roller, like I said, so thrasher will not be making my bag. Then again, you know, kind of a comfortable disc, but just not for me. So the next disc I threw was a Hades, and I threw this forehand. I think this will be primarily a forehand disc for me, maybe backhand every now and again, but I feel like I already have nukes that have that unstable slot. I prefer a Hades for forehand over the nuke just because of the rim is a little bit shallower and not quite as wide, so it's a little bit more comfortable in my hand, and that is something I look for in discs. Obviously, I want to be comfortable with the grip. It kind of gives confidence. So Hades feels really good in my hand for forehand, and obviously had a really good flight. Just kind of stands up and then flies forward for a long time and fades. So really loving the Hades for that. I do have a couple of other Hades that are super unstable, so I'm not sure. Maybe this is just an overstable one, but I'm loving this disc for forehands. Definitely going to be a go-to in my bag, I think. And for now, definitely making the bag. Last up, Nuke OS. So this is that super overstable, beefy slot that you got to have. Super dependable, consistent, over the top of stuff, headwinds. Nuke OS is going to fill that gap, and yeah, definitely making the bag. I prefer the ESP, the flat ESP ones, if you can, just because it's a little bit more overstable, I feel like. So yeah, that's it. Like I said, I want a disc to fill every slot in my bag, every slot of stability and in every speed. So today we talked about the high speed stuff, and I want a disc to fill every slot in that high speed category. So I've got the Nuke OS for that really overstable slot, just super dependable, over the top of stuff, headwinds, just no nonsense, overstable Nuke OS. Next notch down is a false. Not sure if it'll be ESP or Z yet, but I'm definitely liking the consistency of that disc. Next notch down, 2L series nuke. That's gonna be my go-to distance driver. That's just I can always count on it to just go straight and then fade. No nonsense, obviously, just super good disc. And then the next notch down from that instability will be the ESP, that purple ESP nuke. That's what I can really get a lot of distance with. That might be a good woods nuke as well, just because it'll flip up a little bit and kind of go straight. Next notch down is the orange ESP nuke. That one's just going to be completely bomber nuke. If I need it to be turnover shots, it'll be good for that as well. And that is my most unstable backhand distance driver. And then for forehand, I'll use the false, I think, for those overstable forehand shots, and then the Hades for those distance sidearm shots. So far I'm pretty happy with how my bag is being filled out. Obviously, we're just one step in with the distance drivers, but I feel like I'm pretty confident that every slot is filled and I'm comfortable with every disc in each slot. So stay tuned. I hope to do some more of these, probably one for each category. And yeah, if you guys like the video, leave a like. That'd be awesome. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.